Right. What's happening, everybody? We are live, ready to rock and roll. So we are live right now inside the university. We're in a private group. If you have any questions inside this group, type in your WebEx. Type in our private WebEx chat that goes with the course. We're also, we are live for members of the YouTube channel. Okay, that's one of the benefits is I go live. You can watch it first in the public, but we don't go over any rules except inside the university. So let's get to work. Let's rock and roll. Looking at the market right now, it's up 14. We got a lot to talk about today, right, Andy? Andy knows we got lots to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
All right, all right. Let's get this bad boy rolling. Waste no time. This is our live options swing trading class. We just got done day trading. Okay, we actually made 1 point. Hey, better than losing, right? And it's choppy. So the fact that we were able to squeeze out 1 point, that's good. Today's Wednesday. If y'all have any questions, type them in. Let's get to work because it sounds like we're going to have a lot to look at today. So let's waste no time and let's go ahead and do our posture analysis. And again, if you have any questions, type them in our chat. Here we go. Let's start off with our long-term posture. Again, so if you have questions, like as you're watching videos in the course, this is how you're going to get the benefit the most. As you watch videos inside the course, take notes. Then you come into our live coaching class and you ask questions. I used to ask questions all the time. I know Andy, he would ask tons of questions, and it's perfect. That's why he, again, everybody, y'all get it, but I mentioned Andy because I know he would even tell me, man, am I asking too many questions? Heck no. That's how you learn. That's how you learn. So as I'm going through my method, if you have a question, type it in. Long-term posture is bullish. Intermediate posture is bullish. Short-term posture is bullish. What do y'all notice too right now? What setup is the market giving you? The market's giving you a breakout setup, right? That means the majority of the stocks that we look at today, they're probably going to be giving you a breakout setup. We'll see. Bullish, bullish, bullish. If you have any questions on that, type it in. Now we're going to go look at our game plan. Basically, the game plan is almost going to be probably the same as it was yesterday, except the near-term blue line is angled up. Okay, it's angled up. It's above 50. Okay, near-term blue line is angled up. It's above 50. We're closer to resistance. That means something. Today, the higher probability is our bullish breakout trades according to our trading plan. That's the higher probability. Bearish trades are low probability. Bounce trades are low probability right now. Okay, let me do this. I always do kind of our housekeeping first. You're going to notice about, me. And again, y'all been coming a long time. I don't change what I do. I'm very consistent. Very consistent. Let's go here. We're going to copy this, and I'm going to put that in our Q&A group. So the Q&A WhatsApp group, that's our question. That whole group is designed for questions. So as you're going through the course, if you have questions, you can type it in the Q&A group. Now, sometimes, we get it takes a little while to answer the question. That's why this coaching class is really good because you can get your question answered in detail in real time. But hey, that's what the Q&A group is for also. Just not at, I'm not going to, it's a little bit different here. All right, hang on. I'm doing okay, so now I'm posting that in our options room as well. The options elite room is for you to post your symbols. If something pops up on our scans throughout the day when we're not in this room, when we're in this room, you can type it in our private WebEx. But whenever we're not in the room, if something pops up, something goes blue, right? Intermediate. Let us all know. Shit, help us out. Well, me too. I'm doing shit all the time, man. All right, game plan. What is our game plan for today? What setup is the higher probability today? Right now, it's bullish breakout setups. I'm typing in our group. Since we are bullish, we can do calls or spreads. And it sounds to me like Andy loaded the boot. We'll find out in a minute what Andy did. All right, copy. This is the nuance. I always like to put this so everybody's always on the same page. Right now, the higher probability is breakout setups. If you take bounce setups, they're lower probability. Bearish setups are lower probability. I'm going to go ahead and erase that. There you go. That's our nuance for today. In case people don't know. Now, let me just type in our group. If you have any stocks to look at, please. Now, as I'm typing this, let me know what trades you're in so we can go look at them. What trades you are in so we can look at them together. That's the next piece that we're going to do. It's our trade management. If you have any stocks to look at, please post them here. Thanks, brother. Ooh, that's the one I like.
That's the one that got picked up by your early flag.
Damn.
Optionable.
That's the one I was looking at. VST. Yep. Shit. Right there. I like it. We're blue. Now, it's going to go back. Here's the deal on VST. This is incredible setup. Beautiful bias up. It's blue. There is a but. Bias up. Bull flag, low probability. I'm not going to take an aggressive entry when it's a low probability. I'm going to wait for the conservative entry. So this is on my radar, as you know, because it's in my at the gates. But if this bad boy gives me a conservative entry, I'm in the trade. I'm telling you right now. Or if for some reason that blue line, which I don't think is going to happen, goes down, boom. Beautiful. KR. But that is an incredible looking setup. We've got to make our lives easy. Our lives are easy. One of my mentors, Scott Thompson, I'll never forget. He would always tell us, and he would say, write it down in big letters. He would say, trade, clean. You know, he would say setups, but, you know, sometimes he would say trade clean flags. But that's why we focus. Guys, this is, if you just trade bull flags that look like that and bear flags that look like that clean, your life will be so much easier. I'm all over this like a goddamn Scooby snack. Kroger. All right. Now, Kroger, Andy, I think, got in this a while back, and guess what? He doesn't have to. Again, I can speak. I know he's going to say this, but what are you going to do? You're going to stay in his damn trade. Period. Right now. Period. Still in KR, and you're going to stay in KR. Now, if it makes that trip up here, you know what? Maybe you just, again, zone to zone, baby. Again, I know you wouldn't make much, but it's not your fault that it didn't do shit. All right, see that bad boy light up blue? I love it. But
yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm riding KR zone to zone on this one. It's sitting at, you know, I didn't want to look, but it's sitting at 2% positive. So no matter what happens at this point today, if I get to the zone, I'll probably get rid of it.
There you go.
I'm not going to hope for a pop.
That's it. That's the perfect set. And that's how I'm going to trade these low probabilities as well. Zone to zone and get out. I don't care. I'm not going to look for a pop. I'm not going to trade a pop. I'm going zone to zone. Zone to zone. Now, I posted this yesterday at VST because it had that intermediate confirmation. Something else to look at on VST is throughout the day, if this line hooks up, that will be an entry, right? That's a conservative. But anyway, you nailed it. You nailed it. Okay. Nicely done. I know you didn't. You did that on your own. All right, here we go. let's go through this watch list. And again, let us know, guys. What are y'all looking at? I'm going to go through my list right now. COP. Do I leave it on the list? Yes. EOG. Abso-freaking-lutely. I love it. KMI. Love it. USO. Love it. WIN. I'm leaving it on the list, right? It just kind of go. If it goes sideways for several days, no, but it could go down. So I'm going to leave it on the list. Energy, obviously, leave it on the list. XOM, leave it on the list. XOP, leave it on the list. Now, let me do something really quick. Let's see. I just want to check out energy. Okay. Let me check out energy really quick. Fucking Coinbase. Energy is bias up. Oil's bias up. So right now, if any one of my energy stocks give me an aggressive entry, I'm going to take it. Understand? Because these are high probability because oil and energy are both bias up. So all these energy flags, if I get a blue sticker, it's game time. Now, I will only trade two I will only get in two of those at the same time. So if like this lights up blue, this lights up blue, I'll get in both of those. And that's it. Energy. Okay? Just so y'all know. That's kind of my my rule. Does anybody have any other thing? Yep, we're on the same page. So I'm leaving every one of those on my list. Does anybody else have anything to look at while we now go through our non-correlated watch list? Speak now or forever hold your peace. All right. Here's the alerts for the week that I've been posting in the group. I'm going to pull this off to the side so I can see what I've posted. Now let's go to work. Coinbase bias down, black squeeze. We've been posting that all week, right? Black squeeze, downtrending. That's what this is. Stack moving averages. It is what it is. Remember, the first thing that you do, let's kind of recap. First thing that you do when you're doing your watch list management, establish a bias based on our rules. Look for the setup based on our rules. If it meets your setup criteria, is it clean? If it's clean, put it in your at the gates. And then when you're done going through your watch list, that's where you look for entries. Does that make sense? This is how you do it every day. Perfect. Thanks, brother. All right. EEM bias up. Absolutely no setup. We don't even have to look. It's clean. If it's no setup, it's not even clean. EWY, no bias. Remember, you're either bias up, bias down, or no bias. No bias, no trade. We're looking for an edge. Remember, the bias is important. It's taking the monthly, the weekly, the daily, everything. And we're putting the odds in our favor. No bias means they're out of balance. We want to go with the flow. No bias, no trade. EWY, no bias. EWZ, bias down. Setup, well, the red squeeze fire black. So I'm not really going to put it as a black squeeze, but it broke out today to the downside. Now it gapped, but no setup right now. Wait for the flag. Bias up, ugly. FXI China, bias up, ugly. GDX, bias up, green to black. I posted that yesterday, didn't I? No, I didn't. Why? GDX, I'm not sure why I didn't post that. bias up, green to black setup. That's the only setup right now in GDX. GLD bias up, no setup. Once it goes black, that'll be a green to black. Real estate, no bias. Silver bias up, green to black. Why didn't I post that yesterday? Silver bias up, green to black. Huh. Semiconductor breakout setup, baby. I didn't post that yesterday either. What the hell? SMH bias up, breakout setup. Beautiful breakout setup. TLT bias down. You know, it's starting to make that bear flag. Oh, man. Baby, I had to take them yesterday. I did, dude. God, they were scraggly. TLT. This is starting to hook up right here. Let's let this get above the 50, and then we'll put it in our bear flag. So right now, I'm just going to say no bias. Oil bias up. Obviously, that's a flag. UUP bias up. That gapped up again, no setup. Home builders bias up, green to black. Home builders bias up, green to black setup, right? Energy, we already looked at that, flag. XOP, we already looked at that, flag. All right, so we went to our non-core. Let me just go look at the energy to see if anything else popped up there, right? Because I do want to go through that. Right there. All right. Let's go ahead and sort. Right there. All right. COP obviously is a flag. No bias. EOG is a flag. KMI is a flag. No bias. No bias. No bias. No bias. No bias. Yeah, we've already went through them all. Nothing new. They're all flags. So, like, for example, this is no bias. No bias. No bias. No bias. No bias. No bias. So you're only allowed to look at this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, right? Perfect. Nothing different. All right. Let's go to Andy scan. Andy bias up. Andy bias down. Okay, if you have any questions, type them in, right? This is what we do every day. In order to be a consistently profitable trader, you need to have a consistent process that you follow every day. If you master these rules and you just focus on these rules, I'm telling you, you will not have a losing year again. You will be so good at trading if you master the plan that I'm teaching. I'm telling you. Now, you can take my plan and you can add your style if you want. That's up to you. Okay? Or you can trade it exactly. That's how I did with Dave. I didn't try to come up with my own shit. I traded exactly. That's why if you guys read my book, Trading Part-Time, there's an entire chapter where I talk about that flag in great, great detail. All right. Andy said there's nothing, but let's just make sure we do our repeatable process, right? Make sure we do our repeatable process. Yep, every time. All right, nothing there. Let's also go look at our bias. Ooh. Oh, baby. Looky here. All right, so let's just sort it so it doesn't bounce. So let's start off and go look at Baba. Baba. Oh, Baba. We know it's bias up. Somebody tell me, what's the setup on Baba? All right. I'll say this. Okay. Let's look at the low, right? Low here. High. This is going to be a low. So if you just look on the surface, it's a bull flag. But somebody tell me in chat, is this clean or is it not clean? ugly. We don't put ugly flags on our at the gates. Baidu looks just like freaking Baba. Actually, it's even uglier because now you got a low here. You made a lower low. Ugly. We already got EOG. FXI. Oh, that one's ugly too. God, a lot of these are ugly because that's FXI China. That's why Baba. Look at that. Don't they look identical? Baidu. They look identical, right? JD. God, this is ugly too. Oh. Now, this is the China. That's ugly, but I mean, I'm not going to trade that one. I don't trade any ETFs unless they're in my non-correlated. My non-correlated is all ETFs. Those are the only ETFs that I trade. Okay. All right. PDD. I don't like it. Is this a valid flag? Yes, it is. But I do not like these gaps. I'm sorry. My money, I see that as not clean. Based on all these gaps, I don't want it. Again, wow, these all look the same. I'm not trading these gaps. I'm looking for VST. You see any gaps on that one? Shit, no. That's perfect. Look at the difference between VST and that, or that, or that. Clean, beautiful charts. We're on the same page. I'm not putting glad, yeah, awesome. That's why we do this, right? Gap City. I don't want that. I want that. That. Yeah, it gapped here, but it's not like that. I mean, look at that. Ugly. Yeah. Remember, why would you trade that when you can trade that? Why would you trade that? That. Well, look. Well, yeah, exactly. Why would you trade that other crap when you can trade that? It doesn't make any sense. Look how ugly. 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 Beautiful. Ugly. 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 Beautiful. Make sense? Perfect. Move on. Now, oh, Pepsi. Okay, check this out. So Pepsi is popping up on my bias down flag. So here's the deal. I'm going to go look at that. If it's a clean bear flag, I'm going to put it in my at the gates. But I won't trade this unless the market turns bearish. And you never know, right? You never know if the market just tanks and it goes bearish. So I always want to be prepared just in case. But let's go look at Pepsi. Is that a valid flag? Here's a high. Here's a low. Here's a low. Here's a high. I look at this as an equal high. That's the way I see it. Equal high is not a bear flag. No setup. No problem. Right? No harm, no foul. We don't do nothing. Now let's go through our bias up watch list. If y'all have any to look at, now's the time, my friends. Now's the time. Okay? You should be really good at this by now. And you are. I know you are. So we're only going to look for bias up. So if you notice, this is no bias. This is no bias. So I'm going to skip those and only look at the beautiful bias up. Make sense? This is my scan. This scan runs through my master watch list. My master watch. You see all these stocks? This is my master watch list. Okay? This is my master watch list. There's over 100. The scan runs through and it delivers me those that I'm willing to trade based on my criteria. It's taken that whole list, and based on my criteria, it does. Now, it's kind of laggy a little bit. So sometimes you get these no bias that pops up. That's fine. You just skip it. That's I've already shared this watch list with everybody. I mean, if you want it, we should have the exact same scans, the exact same watch list, basically trading the exact same damn things. Right? I don't need to tell you my every move. You know my every move. We have the same shit. My logic, I have an entire video. I'm not going to go over that. I'll mention it. But there's a video inside the course that says watch list creation. It's in the Options 101. It goes over my logic. I'll tell you, but that means I know you hadn't watched that video. The logic is there is 10 sectors. It can be 11, I think, if you add, transportation in the S&P 500. Okay, so I'll do it. Why not? Let me just remember where it's at. Tools. I always got to remember where it's at. Market watch. I got to remember. It's been a while. Remember I found out this trick that one day and I was like, what? Analyze. Fundamentals. Right there it is. Fundamentals. Here are the sectors, right? Energy, materials, industrial. So it's the sectors in the S&P 500. But I show you in the video. And then, for example, look, that's energy. That's XLE. So you go here and you type XLE. And it gives you the top 20 holdings. I do the top 10 holdings. So I go through every sector and I put down the top 10 holdings. Okay? Like XLB, XLI, XLV, XLP. That's my master watch list. Now, I have some other ones on my master watch list of just stocks that I like that aren't top 10 holdings. So, like, for example, let me see here. I mean, I don't want to go into too much detail. We got a lot to do, but let's go to, let me see one. Right here. So, for example, AAL, right? AAL, that might be a top 10 holding into, transportation, but AAL is American Airlines. Okay. Have you ever flown American Airlines? Maybe, maybe not. But here's my question. If you go, would you rather buy a plane ticket on your own money or go trade AAL, make money, put that money aside, and if you go on the plane, now you're buying a ticket with their money? Right? So I put stock love. Southwest, same concept. Airbnb. Airbnb. Do you ever stayed at an Airbnb? Why not go trade Airbnb? Let's say you make $2,000. Put that in a separate account, and every time you go stay at an Airbnb, pay for it out of that account. So the logic behind my master watch list is the 10 holdings, but also I've added some that I do business with. Coinbase. Why not? Yeah. Coinbase. I pay Coinbase every month. I'm part of a plan called Coinbase One. Coinbase One gives me $1 million of protection. It also gives me a private number that I can call 24 hours a day to talk to a representative. Gives me on trading fees, it gives me less. It gives me higher percentage on the staking. But my point is, if I make money off of trading Coinbase, why not just use that money to buy Coinbase One? That's all I'm going to say about that. Forrest Gump. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right, AMAT, buy us up. No setup. Baba, buy us up. Gappy, ugly, no setup. BBY, black squeeze. Now, today, right now, breakouts are the higher probability. So if it's a non-correlated, I'll post whatever the setup. But I'm only going to post high probability setups in the group today. So you already know what the high probability is today. Black squeeze. Now, this is, I'm going to put this as a bull flag. I know it hasn't officially crossed the 50, but hey, if we go down a little bit more, I like that setup. CCJ. Buy us up, bull flag. Put that on your list. Oh my gosh. Look at Carnival Cruise today. I posted that as a breakout setup, and that sucker is breaking. Wow. That's why sometimes those breakouts, they are just a bam. I mean, come on. Look at that breakout. You'd be up like, I don't even know how much. Well, we know Chewy's a no bias. It's a dog. Cisco, buy us up. Guess what? Breakout setup. I posted that yesterday. eBay. eBay's starting to pull back in a flag. It's not quite there yet, but it's thinking about it. All right. We already looked at GDX. Ugly. HPQ. Oh, my goodness. HPQ. Breakout setup. What a beautiful breakout setup. HPQ breakout setup. Marvell, orange squeeze. Still got a little ways to go, but I would say that this is close. Orange squeeze, breakout setup. MU, no setup. That's not right. You can see that this never made its trip, right? Look what's happening. I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? You want that trip. If it doesn't, you get the hell out. Sure enough, exactly. You see it. That's what I'm saying. My trade, not my trade. If you get into one of these trades and it fizzles out, get out. Don't hope it's going to bounce. Get out. Take the loss. Take the small win and move on to something better. But don't just stop out to stop out. Only get out if you actually get stopped out. Oracle, buy us up. Basically, it broke out yesterday, but I'm going to put it's breaking out right now. Breaking out now. All right. We already looked at silver, BlockFi, squeeze. Close to a breakout setup, right? Next setup, breakout setup. All right. We already looked at oil. Walmart, squeeze, right? Chopping around, stacked moving averages, the John Carter buy zone. I bet Win is crushing it today. Oh, yeah, that's on our flag, right? Now, if this blue line goes back above this, I'm going to take it out of my list. We already looked at home builders, green and black. Okay. So let me go ahead now and do CCJ. Let me mark that on my list, my highlighter, CCJ. Anybody got any other ones to look at, right? We're on the same page. Is something popping up for y'all that I'm missing? Because this is my daddy right here. This is my list. I'm ready to go, right? Because here is the deal. Go back to your time. Here's my daily routine. I talk about it all the time. If you have questions on my daily routine, there's a whole video in the course on it. We did this. We did this. We did this. We did this. And we did this. So Andy says it's been almost a full year of flags. After the new year, he's going to add the breakout. Cool. Again, look at this, right? Not Oracle, even though that's good. I mean, come on. Look at this. You never know if that breakout's going to go to the damn moon, right? You never know. The only thing is you never want to overtrade, right? So you're going to have to set guidelines on which breakouts you trade because you're going to have a lot of setups. You're going to have a lot of setups. And if you're trading flags and breakouts, you're going to have a lot of opportunities. And the last thing you want to do is overtrade. So you're going to have to establish specific criteria. But yes, breakouts, you know, again, the Thursday night, y'all know, I took, yeah, you have to set it for sure. I had a class every Thursday night, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Advanced Technical Analysis taught by Dave Johnson. I took that class every day for years. It was recorded. So if I missed it live, which was rare, it was my favorite class. Favorite class. And I'd watch the recording. But he taught breakouts and flags. That's all that class was. So I can say that I'm a master at flags and I am a master at breakouts. I know breakouts are big time. So incorporating that into your repertoire is good. But like I said, focus on one setup until you got it down. Once you get it down, you're solid, then really master the other one. And I never want you to overtrade. Never want you to overtrade. But here's the thing. Go back to my thing. Go back to my routine. So here's the deal. Again, I'm telling you exactly what I do. Now, if you notice, my time slot says 11 to 12. I got an entire video lesson on this. I got an entire video lesson on this whole sheet. Right now, it's about 10:30. So usually what I do when I get done with this class, I take a little break. I've been talking for hours. I feed the dogs. No, I don't feed the dog. I let the dogs out. I get something to eat, get kind of situated. Maybe right after this class, I'll post the alerts just to get them out of the way. That's probably what I'll do is in my sheet that I've been writing down, I'm going to probably post those first. Then I take a break. And then I come back to the screen between 11 and 12. So like if I get done with the dogs and all that, 10:45, I just take a break. I got to just take a break, man. Sit by, you know, whatever. Just relax. I come back to the screen at 11 to 12. And between 11 and 12, I'm looking to see, hang on, if I get an entry, right? If I get an entry, also, I'm going to leave that scan and that scan up to see if anything new pops up on this scan. And I'll know because I have an alert to let me know, right? If you go to scan, actually, let me find it here. Analyze. I never know where it's at. Right here. Market Watch alerts. Here's my alerts. Let me know when something pops up on... Actually, I don't know how to set an alert on that. Can I set an alert? Hang on. Let me do that also. Let's do it right now. Bias down, bias up. If something's added to my scan, and let's go ahead and do this really quick. Let's try it. Load scan. Andy bias up. Run it. Okay. Nothing. But now let me add an alert. I'm definitely not going to do that fucking goat. It's going to be the bell. So when something gets on there, I'm going to create that alert. All right. Let me do the bias down. Right? Hang on. Did I do that right? Andy bias up. Did I do that right? I wasn't even paying attention. Shit. Let me know. Did I do that right? I was not even. Fucking shit. Yeah. Okay. We do bias down. Run the scan. Nothing should pop up. Alert. Here. Okay. Now let me go back to the alerts right here. Okay. So here's my alerts. Andy bias down. Andy bias up. Bias down flags. Bias up flags. Bias down watch list. Bias up. So that's in the alerts. And it'll be triggered up here. That's the only alerts that I got. So I don't have to stare. Basically, between 11 and 12, I can do stuff, but I'm watching this, right? I mean, this is pretty easy to see. This is easy to see, but on this master watch list, I don't know. Things can pop up. I mean, how can you remember which ones you looked at? I can't do it. So I got to resort to my messages, and that's going to let me know, right? And then, of course, this. Now, at 12 o'clock, I collapse this, this, and this. And then, look at the market. Look at that. Some bitch popped out, right? Kept going down. Remember we were talking about that right there, how if you wanted to go long, you could. I even said it. I was like, if you want to go long, what did we say? 54 cents? Y'all remember that? Somebody let me know. Remember we said, I wrote it down, but it was like 50-something cents. What is it now? Holy shit. I can't remember which one it was. I bet you it's over $1 now. But again, we were talking about that, right here in a room. I mean, I said, I mean, if you, I even remember, y'all remember, I said, well, if you want to take a shot, you can go ahead and take another shot right now. That's what I said. We were right in this area. I know you're up a lot. Again, if you didn't, that's fine. I didn't. Okay. But that's crazy. So now, oh, let me go back to my thing. Why am I bringing this up? Because here's the deal. Between 12 o'clock, so and 1 o'clock, that's when I'm willing to day trade some more. And let me tell you, 12:30, 12:40, last 2 days, there's been an entry in those days. We'll see. Based on the rules that we talk about in the day trading. And then, damn, dude. Damn, that's crazy. But hey, right there, guys, that would have paid you big time. Now, then I'm being straight up with you. At 1 o'clock, I go to the gym. I come back home around 2 o'clock. And then the last hour of the day, I come back to my charts. I open up my at the gates, the bias up, and then I go look at my messages to see if anything new's popped up. And I look to trade that last, hour, 30 minutes of the day. That's one of my favorite times. And that's it. And then I shut it down. I post this sheet in the group. And then I'm done. I'm done for the day. And then in the morning, early, that's when I look at my crypto, right? That's it. That's my entire routine. I just gave it to you. So if somebody asks me questions during those times where I'm at the gym, I'll reply, hey, great, but I'm not looking at the charts. I'm escaping, man. Any questions on that? Any thoughts? Because what I'm going to do right now is we'll stay here in a second inside the members area. Those of you on YouTube, please, if you want to join us in the school, check in the description. All right, so that's my